All right. A little bit 2 minutes late, but we're good. I literally had to shower, find socks, get a tea. Like I literally was completely unorganized.
Dude, I gotta make a coffee right after I get off this thing. I literally I slept in a little bit last night because we had a good time after my finance exam. So
Yeah.
let's just say we're seeing some clouds. So
Yeah, me, Flet, and Lucas were on doing GPP bro stuff this morning too. So it's a little late in that. Yeah. Mono's the first one in here. He says, "What's up, boys? What's up? Hopefully,
What's up, Mono?
Hopefully your boy Mike White doesn't get destroyed today." Full PPR, need one flex and one wide receiver. Ayuk, Devontae Smith, and Devontae Williams. I would go with the wide receivers as well, personally, and especially in a full PPR format. There, Blake. Hey, boys, big week. Yes, sir. Good morning. What wide receiver should I start? Hill, Evans, Judy, and Williams. Pick three.
Mike Williams?
If that's Mike Williams, I'm going to go with Tyreek, Evans, and Mike Williams, personally.
Yeah. I fully agree with that. Try to leave first and second name, or like
yeah, first, especially when his last name is Mike. Last name is Williams.
And like in that one, we like regardless of scoring format, we would agree with like those three players. But try to also leave the scoring format because once we get into like super flex plays, and we're talking about like a running back like Zach Moss versus like a receiver, then like it's easier to distinguish when you know if it's PPR or half.
Yep. Gallup or Antonio Gibson full PPR. Give me.
At this point, Michael Gallup.
Give me Michael Gallup there in full like Gibson.
He's got the best matchup on the field.
Yeah, Gibson's matchup's really bad against Tampa. Game script probably won't be great for Antonio Gibson, the role that he has. And we've seen his role diminishing before. You know, I told people to sit him on yesterday's video. So, and I can't sit Gibson him because I have a couple guys on bye this week. So I can't sit him because I have Higgins out and I have a couple other guys on bye. So I have to play him. But if you have the choice, like Jared does, I wouldn't play Antonio Gibson this week because we've seen his role diminishing. We've seen the Bucs defense be really bad against running backs in general. And Gibson, I need to see him do it in terms of like a 65% snap share again. Like what we saw at the beginning of the season, I would love for that to be the case this week. But I don't know if 1 week was enough rest for that, for them to just give him his whole roll back.
Yeah, I agree.
Leonardo says, I started Gesicki, yikes, and playing the best team. I got Wentz and Russ, and he has JT and Lockett. Who would you start?
I'd go
with Russ, personally. I'd go with Russ over Wentz just because, like, you started Gesicki, you need a higher ceiling, and I think Russ has a higher ceiling on a weekly basis than a guy like Wentz. Plus, he has JT, so I guess if you were to play Wentz, you get some like leverage against JT if Wentz were to score the touchdowns and JT doesn't. But I think I would still go with Russ there.
Yep, no, I agree there. I would also go with Russ.
He also says Schultz or Goddard. That's a close one for me. I think I have Goddard higher. Yeah, I have Goddard a bit higher there. So I have Elliott too, leading Goddard for max ceiling PPR. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really affects the ceiling. Schultz and Elliott being in the same game. It's expected to be a high scoring game, but I would go with Goddard there.
Yep. They're actually back to back to me, but I would
they are. They're back to back for me too. Blake says half PPR, Darrell Williams, Mark Ingram, or Zach Moss. Pick one.
Ingram.
I have to check who I have higher.
Ingram
I have Darrell Williams one spot higher than Mark Ingram. I have Darrell Williams at 17 and Mark Ingram at 18.
I have. Let me just actually touch my tight end real quick, because I had to adjust for some inactives. But let me. Seals Jones probably going to be 14th. Good spot.
Is Logan Thomas inactive?
I believe so. I don't know if he's got officially ruled, but it's looked really, really doubtful. Apparently, he was having complications this week.
Yeah, no, I saw that too, but I would like to know if he's officially inactive or not because I did play what's his name? Seals Jones in a couple DFS lineups. But yeah, Darrell Williams, Mark Ingram's really close. So I think that's like a complete toss-up. I would go with Darrell Williams.
You said you have them 17, 18?
Yeah.
I have Ingram 16 and Darrell 18. So
yeah, it's really close. Anyway, we got a $5 super chat there.
Yep, but you have where we marked off.
Yeah, I got it.
Appreciate that $5 super chat from Rubio. He says Collins, Pat Muth, Knox, Carter, Van Jefferson. Can y'all rank them for this week? I need 3 for my flexes. If I were to rank these guys for your week, I'm like, again, you mentioned for your flexes. I would.
Van Jefferson to me stand above the rest of them.
I
With Woods out, Odell still acclimating to the team. Van Jefferson's pretty easily a top 36, I think, wide receiver for me this week.
I think he's 34 for me.
Yeah, Van Jefferson and Michael Carter are definitely in my lineup there. I know it's a tough
Absolutely.
matchup, but you got Mike White at least, who should, throw him the ball quite a bit.
Is Carson expected out?
Yeah, he's already out.
So if that's the case, I'll have Collins as my 3. Knox versus Muth is close for 4-5.
He said he only needs 3.
No, I know, but he said he
said rank them. I'd actually prefer Knox and Freiermuth to Collins, both of them. I'd rather play both of them. Yeah. So I would rank it Michael Carter, Van Jefferson, Dawson Knox, Pat Freiermuth, and then Alex Collins. That's the way I would rank it.
That's fair, but I agree that all 3 of those assets in terms of flex appeal are probably all in the same tier. So either way, I think Collins, I don't know. I like that matchup. I think Seattle, obviously with Russ, going to have to put up points against the Packers if they want to compete. And
Thomas isn't playing, by the way. I just looked it up.
Yeah. Okay.
He's out.
But either way, Van Jefferson, Michael Carter, there's 2 stalwarts.
Johnny Smith also out, by the way.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry could be a little sneaky this week for like DFS and stuff.
Yeah. And then I would go with Collins. Bush would go with Knox. So appreciate the $5 super chat, Rubio. We actually got another one from Tyler here. Bush has helped me so much on Twitter. So here you go, young man. Appreciate it a lot. OBJ or Ayuk gets a flex full PPR. This one's actually...
I would go with Ayuk. I know, like OBJ's.
I like OBJ, man. I don't know.
I like him too, but it's his first week with the team. You can't imagine he's going to be running more than 50-60% of the routes maximum, I would say. I know they're like, they run the most 3 wide receiver sets in the league. And let's be honest here, like, you get Odell on the field. You get him on Monday at least too, so he gets an extra day to learn, things or whatever. I personally would go with Ayuk, but it is close. I think it is pretty close. I would go with Ayuk though. I'd
go Odell. Let me just see actually where I have them ranked. So Ayuk's a fringe, like top 30-ish play for me. Where do
I have Ayuk at 32 and Odell at 37.
I gotta adjust Odell in my rankings, but I know Odell's going to be in my top 30.
That's wild. I like to play it safe when it's the first game, new team, new coming off an injury, whatever the case is. I usually like to play it safe with wide receivers, and Odell kind of fits that description for me. So I'm just gonna play Ayuk.
That's fair. It's definitely a much riskier play, which is weird to say about Ayuk considering how inconsistent he's been this year. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think Odell's gonna step up.
Yeah, looks like we got another one too. If you want to go down to that, I appreciate that, though, Tyler.
$6.99 from AJ. Appreciate that from Tyler, and of course, appreciate that from Rubio. $6.99 from AJ. Boys, love the show. DFS head-to-head, full PPR, flex. Can't decide between Deontay Johnson or Swift. Thoughts?
Okay, so this one depends on what your lineup looks like right now, because if you are contrarian in some places, I would go with Deontay Johnson, and I also need to know where you're playing, because on DraftKings, Deontay Johnson, he says full PPR, so it is DraftKings that he's playing on. So on DraftKings, Deontay Johnson might be a lock for 100 yards in this game, to be honest. So I'm really enticed to play Deontay Johnson. But if you need more ownership diversification, like if you have Dearness Johnson in your lineup and you have, Dalvin Cook in your line, like a bunch of highly owned running backs, wide receivers, or quarterbacks or whatever, then I would go for the guy that's going to get less ownership, and that is DeAndre Swift.
Yep. No, I agree with you there.
But they're both good plays. I actually have a mini stack of both guys in one of my lineups.
Love that. And I would agree there. So appreciate that $6.99 super chat, AJ. $10 from Alfredo says, should I play Godwin or Judy, Elijah Mitchell, D. Williams, Beckham on my flex? I have a Cooper and Diggs starting, running back Cook and Patterson starting, quarterback Stafford or Pat. So to answer your first question for your flex,
I'd go Godwin there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Godwin's just in such a good spot. I know he's like somewhat like they haven't said anything about him being on a pitch count or anything like that. If he's playing, which he is, by the sounds of it, I'm playing him. There's pretty much no way I sit him in this easy of a matchup.
Yep, for sure. And if I had to rank the other options, I would probably have them Darrell Williams, Odell, Elijah Mitchell, Judy.
I actually have Mitchell the highest of those running backs, so I'd have Mitchell.
Yeah,
higher.
Actually,
and then
side note, put Mitchell at 1. I actually do have him ranked higher than Darrell Williams. I just checked right now.
So he said I guess he only needs one flex, but anyway, he also says Stafford or Pat. I'm gonna go with Mahomes there. Personally, yep. I think it's just an easier.
I agree.
Like I know Mahomes hasn't been what you expected if you drafted Mahomes, but he's still a better option this week than I think what Stafford presents against a bit of a tougher matchup.
They're back to back right now, but actually
they're actually pretty close. Yeah, it's not like a slam dunk Patrick Mahomes, but they're both pretty close. Anyway, do we have any other ones, or should I go back to where we were?
You can go back up. I'll monitor them. But yeah,
Okay.
appreciate that $10 super chat, Fredo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Brock
boys,
says, hey, boys, 2 quick questions. Start 1, Cole Beasley or Zach Moss full PPR. Second, do you know if Godwin is playing? So it looks like Godwin's playing. It doesn't show up in our Fantasy Pros thing that he's out. So I'm assuming he's going to play. Otherwise, it would say he's out for the game. So it sounds like Godwin is playing. And for your first question, I would go with Cole Beasley because of the full PPR format. I think Cole Beasley and the Bills offense in general, they're implied for like over 30 points in this game. So give me pieces of the offense and give me pieces of the passing offense, because I think Josh Allen is going to have a get-right game. Zach Moss coming off a concussion, maybe they limit his workload a little bit. And apologies to those of you, a lot of you guys commented like down below during the running backs video. I think I said that Zach Moss was, his workload was like eaten into by Devin Singletary. I didn't realize that he left the game with a concussion. I just thought Singletary was just playing more. So yeah, Zach Moss should be back. Easy matchup, but give me Beasley.
Yeah, speaking of comments, I caught up on so many last night, like at 4 a.m. I'm like,
yeah, no, I noticed that. I was like, oh damn, they all fucking went away.
Yeah, no, I finished watching a couple movies after the exam, and I just went ham on it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Definitely needed some help there. Amari or Lockett half PPR.
Give me Cooper.
That's close, but give me Cooper.
I don't know. I know it's a tougher matchup. Is it AJ Terrell expected on him?
Yeah, it's a tougher matchup, but the points that are going to be scored in that game, especially by Dallas, again, another team that's implied for over 30 points according to Vegas right now. You can't really sit a guy in that kind of matchup. Plus, we potentially have snow in the Green Bay game, which could lead to like a bit of a less, passing day over there. So give me Cooper there. Wentz or Ryan full PPR. I don't know. I think Wentz will probably catch more passes, but give me Carson Wentz. I think his matchup is better. I know Ryan is going to probably have to throw the ball against the Cowboys defense, but the matchup is just way easier for Carson Wentz, and he has more, I think, more leeway to throw the ball to other like playmakers than Ryan. It's pretty much just Pitts and Patterson out there, and if they can't get it done, then they're going to probably struggle on offense.
Yep. No, I agree with there. I actually do think that the Cowboys are going to have a get-right game today, and I know I'm not the biggest betting guy, but Cowboys -8. I think that's more so the public just adjusting to the fact with
it's down to 8 now. It was up down 10 to 8 when it opened.
Yep. It was at 9.5 when I was gonna bet it, and I got it at 8 yesterday. And I'm like, I don't think people realize that Cowboys playing at home after getting embarrassed at home last week, like this could get ugly pretty quickly.
Yeah, it definitely could. I think this week is going to be a complete adjustment to what we saw last week in terms of fantasy production, because we had like 4 guys go over 20 points on the main slate last week. Like it was garbage. This week I can make the case that like all those top running backs, Najee Harris, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey, all those guys could have monster games. And then there's so many receivers and stuff. Same thing. It's going to make DFS really interesting this week.
I was just about to say for DFS this week,
it's a really interesting slate, especially because we have all the chalk running backs too with Dearness Johnson and Mark Ingram and the Patriots guys too. Like it's really wild how the ownership and stuff is going to shake out. But
do you like DraftKings or FanDuel this week?
I have more bankroll on DraftKings, so I tend to just pay more attention to DraftKings.
I might have to put more on. Obviously, like I lost my money after that freaking lineup that I had James Robinson and Crowder instead of freaking Carter.
And that sucked. That week was also kind of a weird week too. Speaking of James Robinson and Carter, though, we do have a question about those two players. Jay says James Robinson or Michael Carter, and that is a really tough question. He does say
Robinson's out.
Robinson's
playing, but he's limited. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to take Carter there. I have him like 1 spot higher. I have Carter at 14 and Robinson at 15. So I'll go with Mike Carter there. He should, get some work in the receiving game with Mike White starting. So I'll trust him a little bit more.
Okay. Also, I just put $100 more on DraftKings, so we'll make a lineup at some point in the stream.
Yeah. I think this will be a big game from JT, so I would go with Ryan. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to see your Colts next week, though, Brock. So that'll be nice. J-Rob, take the risk. Carter versus Bills, a no. Yeah, I'm like, it's a tough matchup for both guys, though. Like the Colts are just as good against the run as Buffalo is, so it's really a bad matchup all around. Who should I start between Tony Pollard or Zach Moss? I would go with Zach Moss there, Mitchell. I need to drop one, Deshaun Jackson or Bryan Edwards. Probably Deshaun Jackson is who I would drop there.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I don't think either of them are like, must own players though. Ryan Griffin or Donald Parham full PPRs. You're in a tough situation right now. Give me Parham though, or
Yeah.
Parham,
Give
however you
me
pronounce his
Parham.
name.
Appreciate that, Rolando.
Yeah. Looks like we got another super. If you want to go down to that.
Yep. Sorry, my bad. Was James East possible packages for wide receivers? Question mark. I have Stafford, Russ, Kamara, Chubb, Mixon, Mitchell, CH, Pittman, OBJ, Pitts, Knox. Love the content. First thing
Your
that jumps
running
out to
back
me.
core is so strong that I'd be looking to package some of your back end RBs for a
Yeah.
wide receiver. Whether you want to go for a big guy like with Mixon, or you want to go for I guess you already have Pittman on your team, but somebody in his tier you could probably get with a guy like Elijah Mitchell or CEH. If you wanted to float out like Elijah Mitchell for DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, somebody like that, I think that's probably who I'd be going after.
Heck, or even if you could do again like CH or Mitchell plus Knox and get a little upgrade there too. I don't mind that. Like if somebody's like again, so I know for a fact that as a Diggs owner, there are probably Diggs owners out there that are completely frustrated with what he's been doing. If you could float out, hey, Mitchell's been a top 15 running back, and Knox when he's on the field is a top 8 tight end, and you could do that and turn that into Diggs with this team, like you won't lose a single game.
Hell, if Devontae Adams has another weak game and you wanted to take Mitchell and CEH and package them for Devontae Adams to a running back needy team, I don't hate that either. So appreciate the super chat there, James. Hope that helped you out.
Appreciate that.
Nuke says need RB2 and flex. I have Devontae Smith, Alex Collins, Gallup, Agnew. Thinking about picking up Tyler Johnson and have Patterson at wide receiver too. So Tyler Johnson, I would probably rather start Gallup now that what's his name? Godwin is going to play. At RB2, you said you have Patterson at wide receiver 2. Okay, can you start Patterson at running back 2? Because if you can, I would rather start him at running back 2 and then play Gallup or just Gallup at flex. Or actually, I guess you'd have to play another wide receiver then. Anyway, if you needed to pick up Tyler Johnson and play Gallup and him and then put Patterson at running back 2, I don't mind doing that either, Nuke. I think that's probably the best possible lineup for you because I don't want to play Alex Collins personally. I just don't. Their running back core is just completely by committee right now, and Collins just isn't good. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Lockett or DJ Moore, that is close. Let me check. I think I have DJ Moore 2 spots higher, so I have DJ Moore at 18 and Lockett at 20.
I'd actually prefer DJ Moore here or Tyler Lockett here.
Really, even with the potential weather that we got there and stuff.
Yeah, but like the way I look at it here is that game, even despite the weather, should still be highly scoring, highly volatile.
Yeah,
between them and the Packers.
To me, DJ Moore, his target share, his involvement in the offense is just way safer than Tyler Lockett. So I'd rather just play him. Plus, PJ Walker might be better than Sam Darnold.
Is PJ Walker or Cam starting?
Like they said, Cam is active, but I don't think he's starting. Like they said, Ian Rappaport tweeted that he's going to have like some packages or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so I plus with McCaffrey back, like McCaffrey helps move the offense. Like I think I'd rather play DJ Moore personally.
I think more for floor, Lockett for ceiling here. I mean, but that's pretty obvious because I mean we've seen the archetype of player.
Lockett's ceiling is one of the best in the league. So looks like we got another super. If you want to go down to that.
Yep, I got you. 499 from Jason. Feel free to leave your question as well. We'll answer it. I'll take a peek down here while I'm making my lineups.
All right. Sounds good. We good on the super chat front. We don't have any other
got him. But Jason says pick 4 full PPR: AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Pittman, Lamb, Deontay, Debo.
Holy shit, you got a lot of good options here.
Brown, Jefferson, and Lamb are for sure locked and loaded, and I would probably actually say
Deontay's got to be a lock too this week. I think.
Right. Deontay over Pittman.
Yeah, I would play Deontay.
Okay. That either way,
I mean, Brown, I don't want to sit Pittman and Debo, but you have some great options here. So I know AJ Brown's going to get shadowed by Marshawn Lattimore, but Julio isn't playing in this game. Like AJ Brown's got 10 targets plus, like in this game. I just can't sit him.
15.
And he's good enough to beat Marshawn Lattimore. So I'd roll with AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Deontay, and Lamb is the 4 I would go with. Appreciate the super chat as well.
Appreciate it,
Jason. Desperate time due to Kamara being out. Full PPR, Hines or Collins. Give me Hines, especially in full PPR.
Yep. No, I agree there.
Better stash, Stevenson or Madison. I still think Cook misses time. I would say it depends on what you need. If you're in need of players to contribute right away, I would say Stevenson's the better stash. But if you're like already set at running back, I would go with Madison because his ceiling is definitely higher. If Cook gets exempt or like suspended for what he did, then Madison's got like, a top 12 ceiling, obviously. So I would rather stash Madison if you don't need them right now.
I wanted to quickly ask too. I'm assuming the Cowboys Falcons game is probably the most one of the more chalk games on the slate, right?
It's going to be pretty popular. Chargers and Vikings is also pretty popular as well.
So to stand out, I was wondering, I'm assuming obviously it's going to be the Cowboys stacked with probably a Pitts run back.
Yeah.
Well, now if I make my two Cowboys, Dak and Gallup, like how?
Dak and Gallup would diversify you. I would say, honestly, the most chalky stack I've seen.
Sorry, I'm lagging.
People are Lamb and Schultz are the people that people are gravitating towards.
Wait, sorry, you cut out. What'd you say? Sorry.
The thing I've seen most when people are building Cowboy stacks are Dak, Lamb, and Schultz is what I've seen the most.
Really?
Yeah.
So if I go Dak, Gallup, and Pitts.
Yeah, that would probably diversify you. I honestly can't get away from Lamb this week, to be honest. So I can't.
I can put him in there.
If I'm going to play a Cowboys receiver, it's going to be Lamb. I really don't care what his ownership is.
Yeah,
he's the best play in my opinion. So.
Yeah, no, I'm setting one right now. Now is it too overboard if I do 3 Cowboys and the Pitts?
I mean, a little bit. If you go Lamb, Gallup, Prescott, and Pitts, I don't think it's overboard, but that's gonna be hard to fit into a DraftKings lineup in terms of salary. Like that's gonna set you back a bit.
Gallup's only 4K, bro.
Oh yeah, I guess Gallup is really cheap, and Pitts is the highest, like the most expensive tight end though. It's a little. I mean, you're gonna have to probably squeeze in Dearness or something somewhere, but like you're gonna need to get different at running back, I would say, because Lamb is gonna be popular, as is Prescott, as is Gallup. So like Pitts will give you some diverse. Like I don't know though, because Pitts is gonna be popular for Cowboy stacks, so it's really tough to work through. I would say you're gonna need some diversification at your other wide receiver spots or at running back. I would say Swift is a good fit for your lineup. If you wanted to play like Swift Fournette or something, if you could fit that in, those guys should give you a little bit more of a diversification because everybody's going to pay up or down at running back this week.
Okay, bet I'll put one of them with Ingram just to get a free square.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Omar says, "Morning boys, flex 1 PPR, Corey Davis, Dan Arnold, or should I pick up T.Y. Hilton?" I would pick up T.Y. Hilton. I would rather play T.Y. Hilton than both of those guys.
Yep. No, I agree there.
Start Stevenson or Van Jefferson, half-point PPR. That's pretty close. What do you have any lenience towards this one? I lean Stevenson, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, Stevenson and a half PPR, especially with Damian
Harris is out. Where do you have Stevenson ranked, by the way?
Let me just take a look. I actually think
Bolden too, while we're talking about it.
I have to adjust them in my ranks. I have Bolden like fringe like top 30-ish. I know that.
Would you rather play Stevenson or Antonio Gibson this week?
Honestly,
because I have them back to back, and I have
probably Stevenson, bro.
Yeah, I have Stevenson higher, and I have him back to back.
I have Stevenson at 26 now.
Yeah, I have him at 26 too, and I have Gibson at 28 because I had Freeman at 27.
Yeah, no, I agree there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd go with Stevenson there, Mo. Brock says hit the like. Yep, appreciate that. So we're pretty behind right now. So we'll try and speed through some of these. Ben says, boys, tailgating early today on the way to Glendale right now. Ruined PJ Tucker. Wish you guys were here. Only question is, I have Schultz or Freiermuth. Give me Dalton Schultz there.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah,
give me Dalton Schultz.
But yeah, I'll be tailgating at New Era next weekend with the Bills Mafia. So I need to I might have to cop a Bills jersey before I go there. But Ward's coming with us, and he has like a shit ton of them, so I might just borrow one from him.
Go for it.
I have Stevenson too. I can't remember what your question was, Nuke, but maybe leave it again, and we'll try and get to it. Light says, in full PPR, which 3 should I start? AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Give me AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, and again, so I like Mike Williams better for DFS this week, but I'd rather play Keenan Allen if I was faced with the traditional decision in a start set question. So I'd go with the first 3 there, and I would go with Brady over Herbert this week. Like the matchup just is phenomenal for Brady this week, so I'm going with Brady there. He's my QB1 this week.
Where do I have him ranked? I believe he's quarterback 3 or 4 for me. But that's also because I got locked into Lamar at 1.
Yeah,
I have him at 3. I have him at 3 behind Allen.
Yeah. Morning fellas, buy low on OBJ, don't need him, and have pieces to move. Just curious. So if you're trying to sell him, if that's what you're asking, I would try and sell him if you don't need him.
Yeah,
I don't need him and I have pieces to move. Just curious. I wouldn't buy OBJ if that's what you're asking. I would sell OBJ because I am not extremely high on OBJ in general. So if somebody's willing to buy into him being like a lot better than what Robert Woods was, then sell him.
Yeah, no, I agree there.
I need upside. Oh, classic Dick Cheese accumulator. Appreciate it. I need upside. Do I start CD or Pittman? Both guys
CD.
have big ceilings this week, but I would go with Lamb.
Yep, no, I agree there. It's got to be CD for me.
Should I trade Justin Herbert and Godwin for Kyler and Keenan if I'm 7-2? I'd rather have Herbert and Godwin. I think with Kyler's injury, it makes me a little nervous to trade for him. That's kind of the tie. I think it's a fair trade. Like it's pretty even regardless, but give me like the tiebreaker of Kyler's injury for the first part of it.
What are your thoughts on this, by the way? So I got Dak, Lamb, Gallup with the Pitts run back. And then my other squares, I got Ingram and Fournette at running back. Elijah Moore is my third receiver. Pitts, McCaffrey, I was able to fit in. And then I got Titans defense.
Yeah, I have no Elijah Moore this week. I wish I did.
Really?
Yeah, well, because
he's so cheap.
I know it's a tough
full PPR.
It's a bad matchup though. Like, and his role is just not safe.
I definitely
we got a couple $2 super chats that I can see.
I'll go read them. Yeah, sorry, I didn't even notice them. They didn't show up. That's why. PPR flex: Michael Carter, Devontae Smith, Ayuk, Hawkinson, Javonte Williams. It's close. I would Smith versus I'd go Smith. I'd go Devontae Smith.
I'd go with Carter. I think I'd go with Carter there.
That's close enough, though. Yeah. I appreciate the $2 super chat, Marcelo. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. Carmen says, Amari Cooper or Terry McLaurin at the flex. They are literally back to back for me.
I'd go with McLaurin.
McLaurin, yeah. I'd say if you're chasing ceiling, I think that obviously the Cowboys are going to be able to put up more points. But if you're looking for the floor, again, Terry McLaurin's involvement, that matchup against Tampa Bay, like I would say Terry McLaurin's probably a much safer play where Cooper's the much more ceiling play. So again, I appreciate that $2 super chat. Hopefully that helps you set your lineup.
Yeah. And as far as your lineup goes, I think you're pretty in good shape. You're actually kind of like making me want to get Elijah Moore into one of my lineups, but I don't really know where I can fit him, to be honest.
Also, I'm assuming fucking Titans defense must be super, super chalk, right?
Not really, man. There's the Lions defense is probably going to be the popular.
Why though? They're a bad defense. Starting. I know that, but like, they're just such a bad defense.
But like they're probably going to be the most popular of the of the cheap defenses. I think people are going to gravitate probably towards the Lions defense, and then in that range where the Titans defense is, you can get up to the Browns for a little bit more. You can get up to like it's a pretty stacked ownership kind of group there. So I would probably say that you're okay with the Titans defense. So probably like 5-10% max.
Decent. I'm gonna put a few more lineups in while we're on stream too.
Yeah. So Nikki says Moss, Javonte, Ingram, JD, pick 2. I'd go with the last 2 there. Ingram. I would go with.
I agree there. Ingram and JD. Max is full. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah. Should I sit Gibson for Ingram as my RB2? Yes, you should. I would rather play Ingram than Gibson. And if I do pick one for flex, Peterson, Arnold, or Gibson. There, I'll play Gibson in the flex or Ingram in the flex, however you look at it. But I would rather play Gibson than Arnold personally.
Do you ever play the $50 red zone, by the way?
I did 2 weeks ago, and I lost my lineup shit the bed. So
damn, okay.
Ayuk, Gallup, Javonte, Landry. Depends what you need, Andrew. I would probably go with Ayuk in that question. I have Ayuk. Of the 3 receivers, I have Ayuk the highest. So if you go with a receiver, I would go with Ayuk.
I agree there. I would also go with Ayuk.
I think I'd go with Ayuk over Javonte. It's a good matchup for Javonte, but again, like you got to deal with Melvin Gordon variants there. So I'd go with Ayuk there. Or Herb for Kyler straight up. What would you do here? Do you go Herbert for Kyler straight up if you're making a trade?
I go for Kyler.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Kyler. But like, if you're gonna make that deal, then like Godwin and Keenan Allen, would you rather have Godwin or Keenan Allen rest of the season?
Godwin or Keenan Allen? I would go with.
He has the
probably Godwin slightly.
Yeah, like you're giving the guy the Herbert Keenan Allen stack. I think I would just hold, honestly, with Kyler's injury. I think I would just hold personally. That's fair. Full PPR, Lockett or DJ Moore. I would rather play DJ Moore.
I have Lockett higher.
We've got that question give me DJ Moore. The floor is just way higher in full PPR for DJ Moore.
We actually got a couple super chats that I'm just seeing now. 12:15. Appreciate that from ISO $1.99. Mark Ingram or Deontay Johnson in a full PPR.
Deontay, not close.
I'll go with Deontay. Yeah, no, yeah, I fully agree there.
Deontay there.
Yep. Greg, $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Who is Deontay Harris projection? Wow, Harris's projection is high as hell. Yeah, I'm not trusting the guys with freaking Deontay Harris.
I honestly have never made a decision based on projections in Sleeper, Yahoo, NFL, whatever app you're using. I don't care what the projections say. I literally don't. So Deontay Harris, his projection is high because the Titans defense stinks against wide receivers. Could he catch a long bomb touchdown? Probably, but I'm not trusting a New Orleans Saints wide receiver at any chance I can get. That game's going to be very slow paced. It's not expected to be high scoring. I'm not playing Deontay Harris if I have better options.
Agree with that. We also got another $2 from Rubio. He says James Robinson or Ramondre Stevenson.
I'm still going to Rob there.
The heel injury is obviously a concern, but we don't even know what Stevenson's role is going to fully be in this Patriots backfield, because it could be a scenario where Brandon Bolden obviously is going to get the third down work. We know he can get the receiving work, and realistically, like 10 to 15 Ramondre Stevenson carries, is that going to fully outproduce what J-Rob would be even on a Slayton workload?
J-Rob just has a much better chance at a touchdown than Ramondre does, because that's just what they do in the red zone. So I would go with J-Rob there. There's a world where Stevenson outproduces him, but I think it's way more likely that J-Rob is the better pick there.
I agree with that. And again, appreciate the $2 super chat, Rubio.
Yep. We got like 9,700 people in here, so I don't know what the likes are at, but I'll let you check that out. Yeah. Anyway, Shiv says pick 2, Sutton, Renfro, James Robinson, McKissick, Javonte Williams. Full PPR, also Knox or Hunter Henry. So at tight end, it's pretty easily Dawson Knox for me there. But
not even close.
Pick 2 at wide receiver / running back. I would go with J-Rob and Cortland Sutton there.
Side note, I quickly wanted to say there's 96 concurrent viewers in the stream, and there's only 38 likes on the stream. That is absolutely putrid, absolutely pathetic. Basically, 40% of you guys not even are liking the stream. So I want to see that number up to, we'll say 60 by the next time I check. So if you guys are watching the stream, you're enjoying the content, you love watching us ramble on for an hour and a half, hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. Wow, I can't even talk.
Yeah,
that's why you don't like the stream. Maybe that's why.
Anyway, Jags fan says, where's Alex Collins in your rankings and who's around him? So Alex Collins for me is at 31. I have Brandon Bolden, Nyheim Hines, Antonio Gibson, and Ramondre Stevenson immediately ahead of him. And then behind him, I have Jeremy McNichols, Devin Singletary, A.J. Dillon, and Jordan Howard.
I have Collins at 30, so I'm right around there as well. Collins, Brandon Bolden, like A.J. Dillon, guys like that. Actually, Adrian Peterson's going to go. I don't know why A.J. Dillon's ranked so high. He's like a fringe top 30-ish type of running back. I don't have too much conviction putting him into my lineups.
Yep.
But
we got another one as well.
I was just about to say, we got another $5 super chat from Alex Wickoff. He says, pick 2, Stevenson, Dillon, Ayuk, full PPR, 2 to 4 inches of snow in Green Bay, by the way. I understand the snow aspect, but I would still go with Stevenson and Ayuk here personally.
Yeah, I would also go with that. And I mean, I guess A.J. Dillon, that's a narrative-y thing that you give the big running back all the work in the snow game. But yeah, I would go with Ayuk and Stevenson there too.
Agreed. Also, side note, I want to get your opinion on this. So my anchor running back in this lineup is going to be Dalvin Cook against the Chargers. I think that's a pretty good play. People probably fading.
Oh yeah, no, he's going to be highly owned. He ain't
is he
whatsoever. Oh yeah, he's one of the highest owned running backs on the slate.
I haven't checked it. That's why.
Yeah, he's. I can look at our fan share projections right now on Draft Sharks. We have him projected as the.
I just assume Najee.
He is the 4th highest owned running back behind Dearness Johnson, Jonathan Taylor, and Najee Harris in our projections right now.
Damn. So would you pivot to Eckler then?
I mean, Eckler's right behind him at 5. So it ain't a secret. Trust me. Everybody is going for the one cheap, one expensive, or the you know what I mean? Like everybody's trying to build a Dearness Johnson, Najee Harris, Dearness Johnson, Jonathan Taylor, Mark Ingram, Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, whatever. Like everybody's doing that this week. That's why I think the 6K running backs like DeAndre Swift, James Conner, some of those guys are probably the decent plays, because I don't think they're going to get a lot of steam.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask, what about stacking Colts with the Arnold running back? I'm assuming that's pretty highly owned too, right?
Yeah, Wentz is supposed to be like top 5 if you're going to try
Pittman, Arnold.
Money. Yeah, Wentz, that's a solid move. I think ownership in general is going to be spread out at quarterback because there's so many good plays that it's not going to be condensed any which way, I don't think.
Okay. I'm just setting it right now, so I was wondering.
Yeah, to me, at quarterback this week, it's just a play the best play, because I think everybody's going to like certain player. Like people are going to be on Dak, people are going to be on Herbert, people are going to be on Brady, people are going to be on everybody. So you might as well just play whoever you think is best.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Rocco says, good morning to the stock. Never heard that one before, but yeah, appreciate it. JD McKissick or Brandon Ayuk at flex full PPR. Give me JD McKissick. I think he's going to have a big game this week.
Yep, I agree with that. It's really
Danny
close.
Bro, sleep and hydrate. Big facts. Yeah, he never sleeps and he never hydrates. Josh says Ingram or Ayuk. Give me Mark Ingram there, Josh. Darrell or Stevenson at the flex. Give me Darrell. I'm assuming that's Darrell Williams, not Darrell Henderson, but I will take Darrell Williams or Darrell Henderson. I can't even. They have different pronounced names, but you know what I mean. They're both over Stevenson for me.
Yep, no, I agree with you. And we actually got another super chat from Aggie here. Aggie 21499. Chubb owner needs wide receiver help. Would I be overpaying to give him Fournette and Pittman Jr.? Him for Fournette and Pittman Jr.? That's not like.
I think that's an overpay personally.
It's a little bit, yeah. Like if
I actually think Fournette and Chubb is actually a pretty close conversation rest of the season. I don't think it's a huge difference between those two guys.
Oh, he would be paying for Chubb. I thought he was getting.
Yeah, no. If you're getting Fournette and Pittman Jr., give me Fournette and Pittman Jr. But I think Pittman's a wide receiver, like top 15, top 20 wide receiver rest of the season. So I can't give him on top of Fournette, who I don't view Chubb as much more than him for fantasy. Obviously, he's a way better running back than Fournette, but for fantasy, Fournette and Chubb is pretty close.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with that. And again, appreciate that 499. Also, I'm going to quickly see here. There's a few different people that I see leaving a good amount of spam. I just want to give you guys that warning right now. If I see it,
I don't even give him a warning. Just mute him. That's what I do.
I'm a nice guy.
Justin says pick 2 full PPR. Darrell Williams, Michael Carter, Antonio Gibson, Adrian Peterson. Give me Carter and Darrell Williams there, Justin.
Yep. No, I agree there. Carter and Darrell Williams. But yeah, no, I agree.
I'll be back in 1 sec. I'll just let you answer a couple questions.
Jeremy, feel free to leave a question. We'll get to it down below. I appreciate that $2 super chat. Also got another $1.99 from DC Visions. He says Cole Beasley or Russell Gage in the flex. I actually really like Cole Beasley this week. Top 30 wide receiver for me. So I would go with Cole Beasley. But yeah, no, I appreciate that $1.99 super chat. And for Jeremy, just leave your comment down below and I'll get to it. I don't know where we left up here. Let me just. I'm trying to find where we left off. Do you have where we left off?
I got it.
Okay, dope. I'm just looking if Jeremy. Oh, Jared did leave it. Okay. Half PPR for wide receiver, running back, but full PPR for tight end. So half point tight end premium. Sorry, 1 flex. Collins, RSJ, Hunter Henry. I actually like Hunter Henry here.
Collins, RSJ, Hunter Henry. Yeah, I like Hunter Henry there as well.
It's close between the tight ends, but I like Hunter Henry. Let me just actually erase Hunter Henry in my rankings as I say that. He's going to be a top 15 play for tight end for this week. There's actually a decent amount of tight end plays I don't mind this week.
No, yeah, there is. Did you get to Mosh's question? Was he the last one we?
We read off Justin, I think, is what we did.
So Mosh is the next one. Yeah, I got it.
Yep. Okay.
Dope. All right. So your buddy Mosha says Judy or Emmanuel Sanders PPR. I'm leaning Judy. I would also go Judy.
Yeah, I agree there. Holy fuck, we're pretty far back.
Oh yeah, we're really far behind. Yeah, when you got 100 people in here at one point, it's going to happen. We'd have to be talking at lightning speed, which I already do. So the fact that we're not caught up and I talk as fast as I do is pretty insane. Anyway, how are we feeling about Stevenson? I think he's the top 30 running back this week. Again, if you guys have Ramondre Stevenson questions, I'm just going to tell you right now who I would start him over and who I wouldn't start him over to make it easy. So I have Ramondre Stevenson directly behind the 2 Broncos running backs, Zach Moss, J.D. McKissick, and Josh Jacobs. So I would start all of those guys ahead of Ramondre Stevenson. The guys I would start behind Ramondre Stevenson are Tony Pollard, Antonio Gibson, Nyheim Hines, Brandon Bolden, and Alex Collins, and Jeremy McNichols, and those, dumpster fire running backs after that. So if you have a question that involves any of those guys, Ramondre Stevenson, that's kind of where he sits. He sits at 25 in my rankings right now behind Moss, the Broncos guys, like I said.
Yep. No, I agree with you there.
Boys, morning. He actually asked this as a super chat. So got to that one already. Flex in full PPR, Ayuk, Rondell Moore, Mark Ingram. Give me Mark Ingram there, TD.
Yep. I agree with you there for TD's question.
Stevenson or Darrell Williams? Give me Darrell Williams there.
I'll go Darrell Williams. We actually got another super chat quickly. So we left off at Tramp. DC Vision predicted that $1.99. Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, start both. I would absolutely start both. I would need to know what other options you would have to even consider not starting either. But they're both locked and loaded top 12 tight ends top 12 wide receivers, not tight ends, top 12 wide receivers basically every single week. So
I have both of them in my top 8.
Yeah, no, like they're going to be elite every single week. So
Yep.
I wouldn't sit either.
So Zach says, for my flex full PPR, Ramondre Stevenson, Dawson Knox, Pat Freiermuth, Elijah Moore. Give me Ramondre there.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Terry, Keenan, or Diggs full PPR, need to pick 2. If you need to pick 2 there, I'm probably gonna
sit Terry slightly.
Yeah, let me trust the better offenses in that situation. I'd probably sit Terry.
Yep, no, I agree there.
Give me a good deep sleeper wide receiver. Have Deontay Harris, I'm guessing that is. Tim Patrick, but looking at maybe adding and starting Tyler Johnson or Jacoby Myers, please help. I'd rather have Jacoby Myers.
I would start Myers, yeah.
Like he's been bad recently, but I think his target share is a lot safer than the guys that you have as your other options. So give me Jacoby Myers there.
Yep, no, I agree with you there. We actually got another super chat quickly here from Chicken Leg Piece. $1.99. He says start Jarvis Landry, Bolden from the Pats, or Van Jefferson. I would go with Van Jefferson, but this is really close.
Yeah, give me Van there.
Yep, appreciate that. $1.99 super chat, Chicken Leg. So I'm looking for the defense. Sweet.
All right, so Jordan says, good morning, guys. Half PPR, do I start Knox over Elijah Mitchell, Emmanuel Sanders, and DJ Moore? No, I would start all those guys over Dawson Knox, personally. Also, do I start Russ instead of Wentz? I'm guessing is what
I would start Russ.
Give me Russ there, yeah.
Yep.
Can you just I'll click the questions. Can you just read them while I'm eating?
Yep. Standard format, Tyler Higbee or Hunter Henry. Let me actually check what I have ranked high. This is like tight end, like 12-ish type of range for me. I actually have Hunter Henry a little bit higher here, so I'd go with Hunter Henry. Devontae Smith or Elijah Moore. I would go with Devontae Smith here until we see it. Maybe one more week from Elijah Moore. Again, the snap share isn't exactly there, but he's earning targets when he's on the field at a pretty phenomenal rate right now. So hopefully the snap share can adjust itself because, I mean, I think he's shown at this point he's got the talent. He just needs to earn the snaps to be able to be a trustworthy receiver week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Half PPR, who has the lowest ranking rest of the season? Manny Sanders, Van Jefferson, and Ayuk. This is easily Van Jefferson for me.
Yeah, it's actually pretty close for me between Ayuk and Van Jefferson, but I have Van Jefferson lowest.
Yeah, I'd much rather personally Ayuk the rest of the season than Van. But yeah, we actually got another quickly here. Gallup or Dan Arnold. I would go with Gallup. We got another $1.99 super chat from DC. PPR, Hunter Henry, Goddard, Ramondre Stevenson, or DJ Moore. Give me DJ Moore pretty easily here. For me, DJ or DC, not DJ. I was thinking about DJ Moore, but yeah, give me DJ Moore. Good morning, gentlemen. No last minute changes for me this morning. Yeah, you're chilling, you're sipping your coffee, you're having a good time, Ron. I'm gonna actually have to make my coffee after the stream. So, good morning, fellas. Who are we firing up as a PPR RB2? Josh Jacobs or James Robinson? Thanks, gentlemen. Let me actually see who I have ranked higher here because it's probably really close. I actually have Josh Jacobs ranked one spot higher than James Robinson this week. And I'm kind of known as a Josh Jacobs hater, but I mean, that matchup obviously against the Chiefs is going to be pretty interesting. So I would go with Josh Jacobs.
I have the opposite. I have James Robinson one spot higher than Jacobs.
Really, eh?
Yeah. Are you about to make a bet with me on Josh Jacobs? You're the Josh Jacobs hater. I'm the truther.
That's gross to me. I'll do it. Fuck it. We'll do
both.
it.
I'm the James Robinson hater too, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, spicy. I'll write that down. I'll take Jacobs.
I don't even think he's even in here. I don't even see his thing in here.
I know he's in the stream, but I think he said he was watching on phone.
Oh,
so
true.
He can hop in the back end. We
actually
we'll
love the stream. Need help. Teams. Dak, Pat, Najee. Have Odell from Philly. Do you make any changes from bench to starting? Or vice versa. No, I think I'd leave your lineup the way you have it there. I think you got the best possible team out there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Full PPR, Gibson.
Trent says full PPR, Gibson or Mitchell. Give me Mitchell there.
Mitchell and Lockett.
Yeah, give me Lockett on the second part of that question. Bolden or Goddard, tight end premium. Give me Goddard and a tight end premium. J.D. McKissick, a smash for over 49.5 rushing and receiving yards. Combined yardage, yeah. I think I'd take the over on about 50 yards on JD McKissick this week.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Stevenson or McKissick, give me McKissick there, unless it's a standard league. I would say any kind of PPR, give me McKissick.
Yep.
How about Gibson versus AP or Peoples Jones? Give me Gibson there. Over those options. Do I start OBJ or Ayuk as a flex full PPR? I would start
I'd go
Ayuk. I
OBJ.
think you're going OBJ. Yeah, so I'd go with
We can
Ayuk
make that
there.
another bet. Write that down, Spicy, if you're in the stream.
Yeah. Should I trade Lamar? I can actually have my notepad right beside me. I can write it down.
Yeah, bet. Do that.
Okay, so should I start or should I trade Lamar for Mixon? If you need a running back and you have a better quarterback, like if you have Stafford or something on your bench or something like that, then I'm okay doing a trade like that.
Yeah, I'd easily be able to do that, Jared.
Okay, so it was OBJ for versus Ayuk.
Yep.
And what was the other one? Jacobs versus Robinson.
Correct. Yep.
Jacobs versus J-Rob. Okay. Knox or Goddard at tight end. I'd
go Goddard.
I'd go Goddard. Yeah, give me Goddard there. Got offered Godwin and Barkley for Eckler. Give me Godwin and Barkley. That's not even close.
I agree there. That's not even remotely close for me.
Yeah. Zach says full PPR, Debo or Deontay. That is pretty close for me. I have Deontay at 11. Actually, it's not really that close for me. I have Deontay at 11 and Debo at 16. So give me Deontay.
Yep, I agree there.
What's up, boys? Happy Sunday. Could you please pick one for me for flex? Emmanuel Sanders, DJ Moore, or Damian Harris? Give me DJ Moore there.
More. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree there.
Reese says half PPR, 20 yards equals 6 point. I don't even. Oh, 6. Okay. 6 point for a 50 plus yard touchdown is, I think that's what it says. I have no idea. But Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, or Antonio Gibson. Give me Mike Williams there. And then one tight end, Schultz, TJ, or Fant. Give me TJ Hawkinson. Reese. Thank you in advance. Yeah, appreciate it. Hey guys, great show. Glad I found it. Glad you found it as well. Who to drop for Jefferson, Boyd, Shepard, or AJ Green? Drop AJ Green for Van Jefferson.
I agree with that.
Gallup or AJ Green, PPR. Give me Gallup. I don't even think AJ Green's playing. Give me
even if he was. What'd you think of the cut for Devontae Smith and Aaron Jones trade? Listener league. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty fair deal on the surface. I would personally rather the Aaron Jones side. But I mean, given the context of the situation, I know BMAC didn't have any receivers at all that he could trust, and in the scoring, it was completely swayed to wide receivers. So I understand the move, but I think both guys on that deal, you and BMAC, ended up making out pretty fairly well there. In terms of what you need on your rosters.
For sure. Juan says start 2, Singletary, Howard, or Ingram. Give me
Singletary and Ingram.
For sure, Ingram, and then probably Singletary over Howard. Yeah.
Agree with that.
Appreciate it, fellas. No problem, Rubio. Michael Carter, Singletary in the flex. Carter, not close. Would you guys start Henderson at flex over Diggs or Jefferson? I'm guessing that's Darrell Henderson that he's talking about. I would start both of those wide receivers over Darrell Henderson, personally. My wide receivers, Diggs, AJ Brown, Jefferson, and running back CMC, Swift, Henderson. Your team is in very good shape. I don't even think you need our help, FIFA Flow.
Yeah, you're chilling there. Damn. I would go with the 2 receivers there, though, to answer your question.
Looks like we got a super if you want to go down to that.
Yeah, let me just quickly read it. We got a few here that I actually missed out here. Gallup or Daniel on a full PPR. I think we actually read that as you gave the $2, so I appreciate that. But I would go with Gallup there pretty easily. Steven, got another one from to Jason. He says James Robinson or OBJ half PPR. Even with the concerns about the injury, I'd go with Robinson here.
Yeah, me too.
Robinson. And we actually got another $5 super chat from Crescent Cannon. Morning. I'm in a weird league with 5 running backs. I have Najee and Jones, but I'm torn for the last 3 picks. Henderson, Jacobs, D'Ernest, or Elijah Mitchell. So Henderson for sure.
The decisions between Mitchell and Jacobs for me. I would go Henderson and D'Ernest for sure.
Yep. I would
Mitchell
go
versus Jacobs is close.
I
think
Jacobs
I would go higher. I'd probably go with Jacobs as well.
Yeah,
I actually might have to move him. I think I might have Mitchell ahead of him right now, but now that I think about it, I probably would go with Jacobs.
Yep. Let me just actually check where I have D'Ernest ranked. I got to rank.
I have D'Ernest at 12. So
yep, he's going to be 12 for me as well, just ahead of James Conner. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna put him. I'm actually speaking of him. I'm actually gonna put him in this one lineup. It's kind of choppy.
Are we good on the supers now, or at the end of them there?
Yeah, we actually got one more from edits. $1.99 PPR Schultz or Knox at tight end. Javonte Harry could flex. I would go with Schultz as the tight end, and I would go with Ayuk as the flex.
I agree with that.
Yep, appreciate that $1.99.
Yep. Juan says Amari Cooper or Josh Jacobs at
Cooper.
flex. Give me Amari Cooper there.
Yep.
Pretty easily, actually. Zach says full PPR pick 2. Van, OBJ, Ayuk, and Beasley. Give me
OBJ and Ayuk for me.
I would go Ayuk and Beasley, to be honest. I would sit
I didn't even notice Beasley. Yeah, I would go with OBJ and Beasley.
Yeah, those guys are all kind of in the similar territory of like high-end wide receiver 3 types for me, though.
Yep. Side note, how much steam is the Bills stack getting?
The Bills, I would say less than it should.
Yeah, I was aiming to probably build a lineup here. I was thinking Allen, Diggs, and Beasley.
Yeah, that's fine for sure. Van Jefferson or Moss, half PPR. Give me fuck. That's close. Give me Zach Moss there.
I'll go Moss. Yep, I agree with that.
Stevenson or Moss. Again, I have Moss one spot higher, so I'd go with Moss by a hair there. Daniel says Jimmy G or Mason Rudolph. That is a yikes decision that you have to make, but I'll go with Jimmy G there.
I agree with that.
Super chats are rolling. Yes, sir. Fryermuth or Fant. Give me Fant there, Juan. Hi, guys. Yep. Henderson or Ingram PPR. Give me Darrell Henderson.
Yep.
Matt Ryan or Rodgers. It's snowing pretty good. Still give me Aaron Rodgers, though. I'd still take him. Stuck at quarterback. Simeon, Taysom, or Mike White. Ugh, that's a gross decision. I guess I'd go Simeon.
Yeah.
Versus Mike, because I'm not starting Taysom. He's not going to be the starting quarterback. So give me a Simeon versus the Titans over Mike White against the Bills. Yeah, he did say not home. Okay. Trade Swift, Cooper, and Knox for Pitts and Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, give me Pitts and Jonathan Taylor. That's a great trade. Holy shit. See that trade? Swift, Cooper, and Knox for Pitts and JT.
Yeah, Pitts and JT. Easily.
Yeah, Pitts and JT, 100%. Renfro or OBJ and Renfro or OBJ. Okay. Give me Hunter Renfro there. I'm like, if you want to go for ceiling, I guess you go OBJ over Renfro, but that's really close, honestly. I actually have both of those guys like in the same range.
Yep. No, I agree with you there.
Ingram or J-Rob, give me J-Rob by a hair there. Ingram is like really close to him though in the rankings. I have him. There's like a huge tier for me between like 13 and like 20 that are all like really decent plays this week at running back between Carter, J-Rob, Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Mark Ingram, and Melvin Gordon. They're all like kind of in that same area. Taylor Heineke, Mike White, Mason, Mayfield need a replacement for Kyler. I'd go with Heineke there, Juan, of those guys.
Yep.
Pitts or Waller, please. That is a tough decision to make. I'd go with Waller, though, I think, this week over Pitts. I don't know.
I go Pitts.
They're so close. I'd go with Waller by like an inch. They're like all like they're by tight end 2 and 3, obviously. So like it's really hard to decide between those guys. I would like to try and get Pitts in your lineup if you can, if you have to play him in your flex or something.
I got Pitts at tight end 2, just ahead of Waller, and then I have obviously right behind them going to be Waller and Kittle. So
yeah. Connor or Swift, full PPR. I was leaning Connor, but Jamal out for Detroit now.
Swift.
I would go even with especially full PPR. Give me Swift. I would have went with Swift probably regardless if Jamal was playing.
Yeah, I would have too.
Not that Connor's a bad play necessarily. I just think I'd rather have Swift. Full PPR flex play, Mark Ingram, Darrell Williams, or Emmanuel Sanders. Give me Darrell Williams there. I think I have him one spot higher than Ingram right now. Real quick too, do you want to pick an upset of the week right now? Because I think Detroit's going to win against Pittsburgh.
I like Detroit. Let me check some other lines. I know I was looking through some upset lines too, but let me just take a look. Also, side note, how is Tennessee only -3 versus the Saints at home without Kamara this week? Like, what the fuck is that line? But yeah, let me quickly try to find this. Browns are underdogs against the Patriots. I don't know if that's too much of a cop-out, but I don't know. Like, that's pretty easy. If we're going big time dogs, Panthers versus Cardinals is pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, that one's interesting too.
Pretty interesting, but I don't mind that. You want to talk maybe Niners at home on Monday night against the Rams? Maybe. Like, I don't know. There's a few decently good candidates. And again, if you want to get super technical, if you want to buy in too much to what the Cowboys showed last week, I'm assuming Falcons over Cowboys is probably going to be some people's picks as well. So
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got a couple supers.
I was just about to say we got a few super cheers. So $3 from Mac. Appreciate that. He says need to Michael Carter, Zach Moss, or Alex Collins. I would say
first
Collins
two.
here.
Yeah, first two is what I'd go with there.
Appreciate the super chat, Mac. Got a $4.99 from Spicy Hot. A lot of spammers today, makes me sad, but it's almost game time. I gotta go. So everyone, be nice to the boys and only put your question once. Go Raiders. Appreciate that, Spicy Hot. Best mod out there. Doing the back end work for those of you guys who watch the stream pretty religiously. You'll know that a lot of the repeat comments, the timeouts, and stuff like that. Listen, we're reading the comments. We don't even notice when it's happening half the time because Spicy Hot's setting the tone with that blue wrench. So
yeah, big facts.
Appreciate you for doing that for us. Got another $10 from Steven. Appreciate that. Might have made a bad trade and got rid of depth. DJ Moore, Gibson, Renfro for DK with a Wilson DK stack. Would you guys trade either Wilson or Kyler to gain back my depth or hold them? Don't need two quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, if you could trade, like, I would wait for Kyler to come back. And then
I would probably you're in kind of a tough spot because I don't really want to trade Russ away if you have DK, but I also don't want to sell low on Kyler at the same time. So if Russ had a monster game, honestly, I'd probably try and trade Russ and just, say, screw it. I guess I'm, not going to have the stack anymore. But because you could probably get something pretty good for Russ to get some depth back at wide receiver or something like that. But you're right. I don't hate that trade if you like, because you got a stud for some guys that are underperforming right now. So I don't totally hate that trade. But yeah, I think he gave up a little too much, but not a crazy amount.
I'm assuming your Tampa Bay stacks are going to be Brady, Evans, Godwin.
I have Brady, Evans, Tyler Johnson in one of them.
Interesting. Okay.
And I only have a Brady Evans mini on the other one.
Fair.
I didn't play any Godwin because I'm scared.
You didn't know if he was playing.
But he's hard to get to too because he's more expensive than Evans.
That's fair. I mean, I might do this with a Terry run back.
Plus, this is a Mike Evans game if I've ever seen one, by the way.
I might just do Brady Evans with a Terry run back.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Terry, like, what's Terry's ownership going to be? Because he's pretty expensive. He's 7,600.
Yeah, he is. He's up there for sure. I'm actually going to put Godwin in my lineup in this one because I actually do have enough room to fit him in here.
We're just casually talking some GPP while finishing out this stream. 15 minutes left for sure. So. Let me quickly check my lineups too. I'm gonna probably try to enter 3 more DraftKings before we call it a night. Call it a day.
Throw Godwin in this one. Then I'm gonna go with Metcalf here. I think.
Where did we leave off? Holy shit!
Yeah, I got it.
Oh my god, we're so far behind.
Oh yeah, we're extremely far behind. But I mean, what are we gonna do here?
Yeah, facts.
So I think it was Alex that we left off on. He said, which flex, Renfro or Devontae Smith? Give me Devontae Smith there, or Alex, not Alex. Thoughts on Ingram? Little worried that Taysom Hill will steal some potential goal line work. I mean, it's a concern, but I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. Wilson or Ryan for quarterback. Wilson. Give me Russ. A little deep, James Washington or Tyler. So I actually, DPJ, James Washington or Tyler Johnson. I have like a couple DFS shares of James Washington and Tyler Johnson. If I had to pick between the two, I would go with Johnson just because I know that this Bucs offense is going to score. I can't say the same thing about the Steelers offense. And yeah, James Washington's the wide receiver 2 this week, but it wouldn't shock any of us if Freiermuth is the second highest producing receiving option or Najee Harris out of the backfield. So I'd rather play Tyler Johnson just with the upside of how much the Bucs are going to score.
I got an interesting question for you, real quick too.
Would
you like this is again like a deeper flex play, but would you go with Alan Lazard or James Washington this week?
I'd rather play Washington probably just because
I'm at as well.
I mean, Green Bay is just a fucking dumpster fire with their receivers outside of Devontae Adams. It's always a bad bet to go after anybody outside of him.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
Yeah. AJ Dillon or Crowder. Give me Jamison Crowder, but I don't really like that decision regardless.
Agreed.
You trusting the New England backfield this week, Stevenson or Dan Arnold in a tight end premium? I'd go with Stevenson there, Efren.
Yep.
Pick 4 full PPR, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. Oh, I think we already talked about this question, but we would go Jefferson, AJ Brown, Lamb, and Deontay Johnson there, Jason. I now have Dak, CD, and Schultz, so I'm basically a Cowboys fan now, Danny. Yep.
Yeah, I rate it.
Give me Schultz over Freiermuth this week, Digby. James Robinson or Ingram non-PPR. I'd go with J-Rob. Darps.
Yeah,
88.
I have J Rob slightly higher.
Mark Ingram or Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham Jr. Give me Mark Ingram there, Caesar. Sutton or Smith. Give me Smith. I think I have higher.
Devontae, yeah.
Yeah, give me Devontae Smith. Sutton's outside wide receiver against. I don't think Darius Slay is playing because he got injured last week, but Devontae Smith is in the way better matchup, and like the Eagles just don't allow anything to outside wide receivers. It's probably a Judy game if we're looking for a Broncos wide receiver to start. Waller, Pitts, full PPR. Again, that's a complete toss-up. I would love to get both of those guys in my lineup if I can. If you can't, I would go with Waller, but I would try and squeeze Pitts in somehow in your flex or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have Pitts a little bit higher, but like
so it's literally like you want to go Waller versus Pitts. We can do that if you want.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
All right, I have Pitts in my home league, so hopefully you're right. But Javonte Williams or Stevenson? Give me Javonte Williams slightly there.
Agree with that. And you have where we left off here at Brian. Yeah. We actually got another $2 super chat from Steven here. PPR pick 2. Daryl Williams, Carter, Ayuk, Beasley, and Freiermuth. I would go with the first two there with Daryl Williams and Carter, but it's very close between Carter and Beasley.
Yeah, I actually don't think it's that close. I would go with the first two by a pretty wide margin there.
Yep. And again, I appreciate that $2 super chat, Steven.
Yeah, we'll probably head off of here in a couple minutes. So again, I apologize if we can't get to everybody's questions, but if you guys do want to skip the line, of course you can super chat $1 or $2 or whatever and skip the line that way. You can, reach out to us on Twitter or whatever as well. I usually try and answer my Twitter DMs because I do have like a couple stacked up right before kickoff just to make sure I did answer it beforehand. But anyway, so we'll answer a couple more of these, and then if you want to show me your lineup, you can. Moss, Renfro, or Ayuk at the flex. I'd go with Zach Moss there, honestly. I think that's probably the safe play there. Last week was so bad for fantasy. I hope this week is better. Wow, we are really behind. That's when I said that.
Yeah, we're very bad.
Should I start Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, and Melvin Gordo? Or replace one to start Odell? No, I would start all those guys over Odell, personally.
I would. Gordon versus him is close, but I'd probably still go with Gordon.
I'd still go James Robinson over Stevenson. Again, if you want to knock James Robinson down behind Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Mark Ingram, Melvin Gordon, I'm okay with that. But a guy like Stevenson, I'm probably not going to get too cute and start him over James Robinson.
Agreed there.
Do I start Ingram or J-Rob at RB2? Again, if you wanted to start Ingram because you want to play it safe, I don't mind that, but I would rather start J-Rob personally.
Yep, I agree there.
2 QB league, flex Mitchell, Gordon, or Moss. Pick one. I'm not sure why the 2 QB league was mentioned there because there's no QBs in this question, but give me Elijah Mitchell there.
Give me Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, that's
I already answered that. Michael Carter, James Robinson, or Mark Ingram. My dog is just going ape shit right now. Give me Michael Carter there, Kenny.
Yep.
Pitts or Goddard. Give me Pitts. Flex DJ Moore, Cole Beasley, DPJ, or one of the tight ends that you don't pick. Give me DJ Moore there as the flex option and Pitts as the tight end there, Perry. Unless my Colts can force some turnovers against the Bucs, we won't win. Feels like it'll be a touchdown or turnover game. Not looking forward to it. Yeah. Not sure you guys can keep up with us, to be honest, especially with our run defense. Is like your whole rushing offense is how your team is kind of centered. So
when do you guys play?
A couple weeks, I think. Week 13 or 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Decent.
By the way, Bush, I'm keeping Keenan in the trade you sent. He's about to blow up in the second half. Yeah, I think I offered him a young receiver for Keenan Allen to try and get over the hump, but
a little bisky.
Yeah, dude, my team is just getting decimated by injuries in the listener league, man. I was like 8 deep at wide receiver coming into the season, but Julio's down, Claypool's down, Antonio's down.
Come
like
trade
everybody's
for one, bro.
Getting hurt, man.
I
still have Debo, I still have Adams, I still have Landry, I still have like a couple guys that I can play, but I'm getting beaten with those injuries right now. Same with like running back too. Like I've been waiting for Barkley all season. It's been pissing me off.
Yeah, no, definitely. You know where to come if you ever need one, though.
Yeah.
We got a couple supers. Traded Adams for Connor, AJB, 4 and 5 thin running back. Good, bad. It's not bad, especially like again, like face value. I'd probably still rather have the Adams, but I mean, you got Connor at least for the next few weeks. You should be a locked and loaded top 15-ish running back play, and obviously AJB with Julio on the shelf should be just a tick below Adams. So I think that's a fine move, especially at 4 and 5 to try to get over the hump and get a few dubs.
Yeah, for sure. I think Connor's Connor's gonna be really interesting to see what happens with him the rest of the season. Is he gonna be like a league winner? Is he gonna be some workhorse running back the rest of the year, or is he gonna be, in this Darrell Williams type of backup running back tier, and he's kind of just, meh the rest of the year? But it'll be interesting. The big thing for me is like, what does Eno do this week? Like, is Eno Benjamin gonna be just Chase Edmonds? Like, are they gonna just slot him right in as Chase Edmonds or 90% of Chase Edmonds, which I think could happen, but. Yeah, Connor's an interesting case. If you guys are playing DFS, I think he's going to be super under-owned for what his role is going to be. So he's a guy that I don't mind in DFS, but he does have a horrid matchup, obviously, against Carolina.
Yep. No, I agree with you there. Otherwise, let's try to.
Yeah, let's just sign out of here if we want.
Honestly, again, if you guys have any last second questions, we'll be on our phones quickly. I'm gonna set a couple more DFS lineups. Got 46 balance available, so might just kind of max out what I can do this week. So. Yeah, appreciate all of you. 72 currently watching, and again, there's a week's worth of content. So if you have any questions,
Hector super chatted here. Mitchell or Moss? Who should I start?
Mitchell.
Yeah, go with Mitchell there, Hector. Yeah, it looks like we're good on that one. Okay, so apologize if we didn't get to your question. Like Danny said, reach out to us on Twitter, both on the screen right now if you want to. Follow us on there. Ask us questions throughout the week. If you don't want to wait till Sunday before kickoff, you can ask us questions throughout the week on Twitter, and we'll get to them as soon as we possibly can. And then you don't have to, even tune into the stream, but we appreciate you tuning in as well. Yep. And if you haven't already done so, like the video, comment your thoughts down below. After the video's over, go watch some of our other videos. Make sure you stay tuned for Monday when I do, a casual recap of the week's games, as well as the other videos that we have throughout the week. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Appreciate all of you guys that left us super chat as well.
Just hit AK on the channel. Appreciate all of you guys, as Corey mentioned, for leaving the super chats, and enjoy a great Sunday of football. Hopefully my Cowboys
Sunday than last week for fantasy.
Yeah. Hopefully my Cowboys can get over the hump after last week's dismantling by the Broncos and take care of the Falcons, because I got a little money at stake on it now too. So anyways, peace out, y'all.